Call Flo Radio Show here on WFLO AM 870. We're streaming online at WFLO.net. Broadcasting live from the Francis Ewood Studio in downtown Farmville. I'm John Staten, and I'm here by myself. Okay. Oh, here he comes.
To John's left, it's
fashionably late Noah Massard.
No,
he was here the whole time. He was just meandering about the place.
That's what. Yeah, that's what you like to call it.
Yeah, meandering is what I call it. The number, if you'd like to take part in our program today, is 434-394-0924. Greetings and salutations, and thank you so much for joining us.
What do you got planned today, John, for the Call Flo Radio Show? I can see you got big plans.
Yeah, I got big plans because we're going to talk about things that happened on this day.
Great.
Big plans. Like American singer and actress Doris Day was...
What?
She unfortunately died.
You were going to say born.
I was, and then I realized it was died at age 93.
Yeah.
2019 was on this day.
Yeah. Way to bring.
But I do have a birthday for you.
Okay.
I do. Your boy. 1964, American actor, comedian, Stephen Colbert.
He went to Sydney, apparently. He went to Sydney College. I don't know if you know that.
No, I did not.
Yeah, local.
I did not know that. Well, we've got a caller. We ought to take it now. And say good morning. You're the first caller on the Call Flo Radio Show. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm the first caller. Huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, every once in a while we embarrass ourselves. And I don't know if you ever done that or not.
Oh, quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, the other day, I looked in the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the salad dressing.
Yeah, you shouldn't be looking at the salad dressing.
I was embarrassed, so I quickly closed the door.
There you go.
If the telephone had a neck, I'd ring it. Anyway, one day I had the TV on, but it was so heavy I took it off.
Right.
Yeah. His vocal cords were so strong, he could lift his voice above his head 3 times in a row.
That is strong.
Yeah, he was strong. At least he smelled that way anyway. Yeah, he also took a shine to her varnish.
Okay.
And sometimes he was just too afraid to be frightened.
Right. Too afraid.
Okay. You remember John Elway, the great quarterback?
Yeah, Denver Broncos.
Yeah, with the Denver Broncos. They paid John Elway millions of dollars, and all they got for that was a quarterback.
Later in his career, he actually won at least 2 Super Bowls, I believe. He'd been in some, but lost previously, but he won 2 eventually. But I like your joke. Got a quarterback.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. All they got was a quarterback.
Yeah.
After spending millions. Somebody said, talking about somebody else, said that his head was so puffed up, it took both hands to lift it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It does.
And that's what scares me. It makes sense. Yeah. Even his shoes fell off because they had no strings attached.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This fellow was so strong, he could lift his eyes without using his hands.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's right. Well, at the nudist club, he addressed them all. What else could he do?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They all have to bear together when they hang out at the nudist camp.
Yeah. At the boxing match, he was struck. His shoe was a foot long.
Right.
Well, I do have a little unusual story
Okay.
I'd like to share.
Sure.
I know you remember Al Smith.
Yes, sir.
Many will remember that Al was the sports director of WFLO Radio Farmville from the mid-1950s to, I guess it was the late 1980s.
Right.
He had moved to Farmville from New York City, where he'd been born and raised. After high school, Al entered the Army. And after a couple of years in the military, Al came home on a furlough. Now, prior to the Army, Al had been working for a large trucking company. And when he came home on furlough, he visited his old friends over at the trucking company.
Mm-hmm.
And a tractor trailer accidentally backed into Al and pinned his leg against a concrete wall.
Yeah.
And doctors had to remove both legs. So he was paroled from the military. In other words, he was, because of his disability, he was
Right.
allowed to get out of the military. Al had a good friend who was a midget. And this is true.
Okay.
He was a policeman in New York. He used to visit Al, and he liked country music,
Mm-hmm.
so he'd always come over and talk to me, too.
Right.
But anyway, as I said, he was a policeman in New York, and he used to visit Al. However, after Al died, he claimed that Al was born without legs, which was not true.
Right.
And a write-up in the American Trucker magazine had most of the information we have just given. It also said that Al worked for WFLO Radio in Farmville, Virginia. And this magazine article further stated that Al collected a $3 million settlement and that Al bought a new house and a new convertible that was specially fixed so that he could drive without legs. And anyway, they had his funeral service at Longwood University in Jarman Hall. And his niece, Mary from New York, if I remember correctly, came down and claimed his remains and had them sent to New York.
Right.
Because Al had always said he wanted to be buried just beyond the center field fence at Fuqua School.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, that was not put in writing, nor was had he told, I guess, his niece.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the late Mr. Guy Dixon sent me a copy of that magazine article, which talked about Al and how that all the information we just gave you came from that magazine article.
Mm-hmm.
But and the funny thing, that midget policeman used to come and visit Al, but you know, he didn't come for the funeral. He didn't have any further contact, and neither did the $3 million show up. And it was said that the Al's midget friend was in charge of Al's money, taking care of his accounts and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess he struck it rich. But anyway, thought I'd share that. I was thinking about Al. I often think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you. I hope to be back tomorrow.
Hope so, Henry. Have a good day.
And anybody who'd like to have questions or talk about whatever or have prayer, call 394-0924. Okay?
All right. You take care, Henry.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
God bless you.
Bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Henry checking in. And Noah, how was your evening? Yesterday?
Yes. It was well, John. It was good. Good evening. You get to relax for a little bit.
You did.
Which is always nice. It's always a good thing when you get to relax for a little bit.
You're big into relaxing.
Yeah.
Good.
I think you need more of that, John. You look always kind of tense.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
It gets that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does it get that way?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to, It just gets that way.
Did Henry say the M word? No, I'm kidding.
Merry Christmas? No.
No.
He didn't say that.
No.
But anyway.
Okay.
Well, phone lines are open if you'd like to call.
Sure.
Be part of the program today, 434-394-0924. Noah Massage.
John Staten.
Did you want to clue people in as to what was going on yesterday?
Were you listening in to that?
Not much, but some.
Okay. All right.
Do you need this piece of paper to
Sure.
talk about it?
No. It's okay. So, Clifton, also known as CJ from North Street Press Club, he's going to be doing some live drive at 5 during starting June on Wednesdays. He's really into music and he'll be introducing some songs. His DJ name though is DJ CJ RO.
You got to say all that?
I thought it was a little long myself, but it rolled off his tongue. So DJ CJRO. He went by CJ Oswald. I think he told me where the RO came from, but I'm kind of forgetting that part. Clifton something Oswald. It's yeah. Anyways,
What? You had something?
I think it's DJ Clifton something Robert Oswald. I forget the J, what the J stands for. But CJRO, which it's a DJ name kind of. And so, anyways, what did you think of it, John?
I didn't really hear it.
You didn't listen to it at all?
Well, I every time I was listening, I heard you saying that this guy was going to come on.
So
but I only heard you every time I was listening. So I never actually heard.
Yeah. I kind of threw him in the fire a little bit. I told him I was just like, go, do it, just go for it. And he did well, John. He did well. So
Okay.
yeah.
What are we calling him again? Can we knock off a few letters?
You can just call him
CJ. Couldn't we just do CJ? That's simple.
But he's rebranding his name, so it's DJ CJRO.
But my name's just John. I don't add much more to it than that.
Well, you know what, John? Sometimes you're known as John Staten the Third.
Yeah, but I don't say that on the air.
Yeah, I've heard you say it.
John Staten the Third?
No.
You actually heard me say that?
I feel like you mentioned it on the air. Maybe you were telling a story.
Right, let's go full-blown. John Emmett Staten the Third.
All right.
Let's just keep adding to it.
Why don't we just go call him Johnny Station?
Well, that's been used before.
Yeah.
Had a
Anyway,
press pass with that on there.
You,
one time.
if you got a problem, you should definitely
I
bring
don't have
it
a
up.
problem. I
Yeah.
don't know if I can remember all that.
Well, you can just call him that
I'm
guy.
just gonna call him CJ. I
Yeah,
guess.
that's fine. That's
Okay.
cool.
CJ. I mean, if he wants me to make little IDs for him or something like that, I need to know what to put.
Yeah, yeah.
And by the time she gets done saying DJ, CJ, OJ, whatever, then it's gonna take a while. But anyway,
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder having a birthday today as well.
Sure.
I heard that on the Old Farmer's Almanac. 1941, Richie Valens, first Latino rock and roll star, was born in California on this day in 1941. Were you a big Winston Churchill fan?
Not like I had a shirt with his face on it.
You did?
No, like I'm asking you, like what does a fan mean? Like
You just liked that person.
I wouldn't go as far as saying I was a fan of Winston Churchill, but he was obviously a very interesting character and
British politician.
Yeah.
Faced the House of Commons for the first time as Prime Minister and told the members, this would have been 1940, "I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat." That's your motto every day when you walk into the door. And we appreciate it. And thank you so much.
I can't hear you. You got to speak up.
Oh, hi.
You're like this. I can't.
I heard
hear
you say something about you like that guy that was on PBS.
Which one? There's so many PBS
That dude
people.
the dude that interviews people. You were telling Chris about it.
NPR.
No, Charlie Rose.
Oh yeah, I love Charlie Rose. I think
Well, he
he's
doesn't
classic.
talk very loud. He just kind
No,
of.
but he talk. The mic is close to his face, but you can't be like that.
Charlie Rose. I'm Charlie Rose.
This is John.
I'm Charlie Rose. Charlie Rose.
John.
Charlie Rose.
Look, I'm not gonna tell you how to speak into a microphone.
Charlie Rose.
But I'm just saying for my ears.
Oh, why
it sounds
not?
a little low. Okay.
Go ahead. It doesn't stop you any other time. Come on.
What?
I don't know.
All right.
Okay. I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so you have nothing.
Phone number to call in is 434-394-0924,
I've got things to talk about.
though.
So the Cannes
Well, I think
Film
we should-
Festival.
This is the Call Flo Show, so we should
It
probably
is.
hear from our listeners first.
Well, if they call in, we'll talk to them.
Sure.
But in the meantime, I got to come up with some jibber jabber. Mm-hmm. Right? Cannes makes it official, and so it's going to leave you out. No nudity on the red carpet anymore. None. Zero zip nada. Of course, they show a picture here of some lady that has like this necklace, but it's like a tree hanging down with its branches covering her upper portion.
Yeah.
But, they're saying no more of that stuff. Mm-hmm. No nudity. None. So that leaves you out.
Leaves me out.
You can't up and down the red carpet anymore. Do you know what the popular baby names are for a sixth year in a row? Could you guess what those names are?
No.
No, it's not.
No, that's unfortunate. Timmy? I don't know.
Timmy?
Timmy?
No, those kind of basic names are out. You don't get those kind of names anymore. No one calls anyone Bill or Ralph or
Todd,
well, even Todd's kind of pushing it, but
Danny. Danny even is kind of like an old school name.
so for the male
Sure.
or boy, Liam.
What?
Liam.
Like Liam Neeson.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah.
And for the girls,
Also Liam. No.
no, well, close. Olivia.
Olivia. Yeah.
Olivia. So Liam and Olivia dominate again, top baby names for sixth year in a row. For that long?
How
I
do
mean,
they?
that's a stretch.
My thing is this. Are these polls even accurate? Who's going to like hospitals?
I got a feeling whoever is
checking records,
making these lists are named Liam and Olivia.
Yeah, exactly. They're
That's just my house.
they're irrelevant as far as I'm concerned, right?
It's irrelevant.
I'm just saying, like, is there any actual research going into these, or is it
I
just
don't
kind of like
know. I could click on it and see if there's more to it. Since you are interested.
if they're not quoting sources, I'm not
Here we go.
buying it.
The Social Security Administration annually tracks the names given to girls and boys in each state, with names dating back to 1880.
Wow.
In time for Mother's Day, the agency on Friday released the most popular names from applications for Social Security cards. Liam has reigned for 8 years in a row for boys. Olivia has topped the girls' list for 6. Also, for the 6th consecutive year, Emma took the 2nd slot for girls and Noah for boys.
It's a good name.
Yeah, but now it's old hat because everyone's naming them Noah.
Yeah, I know.
Your name's gonna be like John in a few years.
Yeah.
John.
Well, think about it this way, John. All of these people who are just getting born, and just like 1-2 years old. I have a much, I'm much farther ahead in life. So I'm like one of the original Noahs, you can say, maybe.
You paved the way for other Noahs.
I paved the way for other Noahs. Yes.
Your hat can't suspend the how big your head's getting.
Yeah.
Your hat's getting stretched way out. But it's okay. Other girl names, Luna slipped out of the top 10 and was replaced by Sophia, which enters at number 10 for the first time.
I kind of like Sophia. I think that's a good name.
Sophia? Yeah. So other boy names that are becoming common, other than Noah, Oliver, Theodore, and Alvin. No, I'm just kidding. James. So you got a regular name there. You got James, you got Henry, Elijah, Lucas, William. There you go. See, now I'm becoming more original because there's not as many Johns around anymore.
A little bit. In some way you are, John.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's fun how it works.
Yeah.
I'm just killing time to the bottom of the hour.
Okay. Well, you got a minute left, so you can.
Well, I can also talk about something else. Let's see.
Yeah.
I figured the boys, girls
let me
name
ask you
thing would
this.
be
Let me
kinda
ask you, John.
Yeah.
Do you have a name if you hypothetically had a child? Not saying you will. Hypothetically, if you did, do you have a name that you would like to give it?
A name I'd like to give it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll just go completely.
John Staten the Fourth.
No, I wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't do that. I would. How about Elvis?
Why not?
No,
Why not
nobody
7?
named- Well, 7. 7 is taken.
Or Soda, even.
Soda. I don't know. I haven't really given it that much thought.
Yeah.
But I know what I would not name the child.
What's that?
I don't know. The one that they were talking about.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. Anyway, we're now at the bottom of the hour. Officially. Yes, give it up for that. All right, so without further ado, the weather is being brought to you by Harold W. Collins and Grading, located at 2113 Cumberland Road, Farmville.
Harold W. Collins Clearing and Grading has been helping to build Southside and Central Virginia since 1960, providing all excavation, general contracting, and hauling needs. 5 miles north of Farmville, 2113 Cumberland Road, at the intersection of 45 and Range Tavern Road. Call 392-6010 or stop by Harold W. Collins Clearing and Grading.
All right, let's do it again. Weather for today looks like this. 90% chance of showers, thunderstorms, a high today near 72, southeast wind around 8 miles per hour. Rainfall amounts between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch possible. Then tonight, 70% chance of showers, thunderstorms, a low around 62, east wind around 5 miles per hour, becoming calm in the evening. Rainfall amounts between 1/10 and 1/4 of an inch. Wednesday, it's a 70% chance of showers, thunderstorms, and a high near 77. Calm wind becoming south around 5 miles per hour in the afternoon, with rainfall amounts between 1/10 and 1/4 of an inch. Wednesday night, 60% chance of showers, thunderstorms, and a low around 60. Calm wind, and as far as amounts, between 1/10 and 1/4 of an inch. Catch a break on Thursday, mostly sunny, a high near 84. Calm wind becoming southwest around 5 miles per hour in the afternoon, and partly cloudy Thursday night with a low around 66. Right now in Farmville, we've got still light rain, humidity at 97%, winds at 10 miles per hour, 68 here at WFLO AM 870. The weather brought to you by Harold W. Collins and Grading. Call 434-392-6010. The birthday calendar is brought to you by Creative Electrical Contractors located at 1907 East 3rd Street, Farmville.
Creative Electrical Contractors specializes in commercial and industrial projects and offers quality work at competitive prices. CEC is a licensed Class A contractor in Virginia and North Carolina. Creative Electrical Contractors has been in business for 25 years, still committed to the values that were established when the company opened in 1998. Integrity, quality workmanship, and timely delivery. CEC, located at 1907 East 3rd Street, Farmville. You can contact CEC at 434-392-3802 or at creative-electrical.com.
All right, for those birthdays and possible anniversaries, I present to you the man, the myth, the legend, Noah Massage.
John, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. We have birthdays for May 13th, 2025, and I'll go ahead and start off the list with this birthday right here. Emerson is celebrating. Emerson Cole Rhodes.
Macon Palmer?
No.
What was the name again?
Emerson Cole Rhodes celebrating. Daniel Guilford. Joyce Norton and Dana and Mike Johnson celebrating an anniversary, as well as Jen, the second anniversary for Scott and Martha Sue Hardwood in Farmville. So there's a couple of birthdays, a couple of anniversaries for the birthday calendar. Mm-hmm. And that's going to conclude it, John.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Noah. And the birthday calendar brought to... Oh, did you want to mention how they can get the names on?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They can email at birthdays@wflo.net. They can go to our website, wflo.net, and under the on-air mentions page, you can submit birthdays directly to our website, or you can call in 434-394-0924. That's the number to call in and give birthdays out. So
Thank you much. The birthday calendar brought to you by Creative Electrical Contractors. If it is not right, we will make it right. Call 434-392-2802. All right, so we're back to where we were. Back to the start. Back to where we were at before. Famous birthdays. Are you ready for this?
yeah.
Okay. Actor Harvey Keitel turns 86. What's your favorite Harvey Keitel movie?
I don't know. I don't have one off the top of my head. I'm
Not a Harvey Keitel fan?
not a huge Harvey Keitel fan. He was in Reservoir Dogs. Yeah, I mean,
Also in Pulp Fiction.
Taxi Driver as well.
Yep. He had long hair in Taxi Driver.
That's right, he did. Yeah.
He was in a movie that probably will not be listed. Mother Jug Speed.
Don't know what that is.
Oh, it's a great film. It's him in an ambulance. His name is Speed. That's his nickname. Mother Jug Speed is the name of the movie. All right. And Mother is Bill Cosby.
Did you watch this on like?
And I'm gonna
bad
let you.
movie
And I'm
night?
gonna say Raquel Welch and let you guess what name her nickname is. All right. Let's take our next caller and say good morning. You're on the Call Flo Radio Show.
Good morning, man.
Good morning.
I didn't feel like hearing any birthdays.
Yeah, there we go. All right. All right.
So,
cool
I'm
beans.
sorry.
No.
Well, it's
So I
either
really
that or
don't
just
have
listen to
any-
Noah go all day.
I don't do that, John. What are you talking about? I got allergies, man. Get on. Yeah.
Yes.
Do we sound like that?
So anyway, sir, entertain us.
Oh, I was going to ask how the event went this weekend, Noah.
You mean
He's,
John?
he's asking you.
Yes. How was Bel Air?
That's not this. That was not this weekend. That's the coming up. That's the 24th, I think. Through the let's see. I'm so sorry. I thought you meant John's concert trip that he went
He's
on.
asking about
No.
you.
That's from the 23rd to through the 25th. So that Friday, that Saturday, and then we'll be leaving that Sunday. But looking
3
forward
days
to
of.
it. Yeah.
What is it you're going to do? What is it?
I'm shooting a wedding in Maryland.
Why would you shoot at a wedding?
With a camera,
Oh,
John?
I thought it was going to be a shotgun wedding there for a minute.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tasteless.
Yes. Has and you talk to I guess you talk to other people in the industry.
Oh, me?
Photo taking.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you guys, and this is ever been solicited to do photos of what's the word? People doing things.
You know what? That's a great question. I personally have not been approached by that yet. There's always time. And I'll say no because, I'm uncomfortable in small spaces with people. But, I think, I don't know. When John Karate came in that one day for the Farmville Spotlight, he mentioned that it wasn't the same situation, but it was a very weird. He was taking photos of a lady's rooster, just weird photos. I don't know. The way he kind of talked about it made me think there was more to that story. So I mean, I'm sure it's happened. Do I know anybody personally who that happened to? Not really. But I'm sure. Yeah, positive it happens. Maybe I'll start advertising myself as that kind of a photographer. No.
Yes, maybe we'll see you in the mall taking pictures of babies.
There you go.
Trying to wrangle them. Got to be like wrangling cats.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, that's good. I guess. I didn't have anything. I just
no. This is great.
This is better than birthdays.
I gotta. Yeah. So.
Anything else?
Well, I can make up something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Looking forward to it. I am.
I know you are. Noah's on the edge of his seat. He lightened up. His attitude completely changed when he heard your voice, sir.
Oh.
Woke him up out of his funk.
I've got to admire. Oh, no.
You brought life to this show, thankfully, because we were losing Noah there for a little bit.
I think it was funny that he called in and he was like, please not the birthdays.
Yeah, that's what I say about it all the time.
Yeah.
But
oh, my gosh. So now you guys are screwed?
Yeah.
No. Not at all, no.
Man, there's got to be fun things to talk about.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
Oh, I don't know. They had Hampton Sydney graduated over the weekend.
I did see that. Yeah, I saw some photos.
You didn't take pictures of it?
Oh. So is Longwood coming up soon, or is that done?
I guess that's soon if it hasn't already happened. I didn't go, so I don't.
You weren't invited.
No, they wouldn't invite me. Other than to say, please graduate or you'll end up like this guy.
Yes, and here's John. All right, then you break out your birthday list.
Yeah.
Right.
On June 27th.
You have to read this every day of your life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But no.
Have you been to Maryland in a while?
No, sir,
Yeah.
I have not.
Oh, okay.
I'm done with that. Or maybe I'm just done with the congestion.
Gotcha.
The traffic.
Yeah, I drove through that traffic, so I understand where you're coming from.
Oh, my gosh. It's crazy.
Barely made it out alive, but I'm here.
Where'd you get to? Close to Annapolis or Baltimore?
Closer to Baltimore, I guess. I had someone else helping me with directions, thankfully, so I was just avoiding cars is what I was trying to do.
Oh my gosh, yes. Then you see attorneys on the billboards everywhere.
Yeah.
Just hoping you'll call with that accident.
So how things going with you, sir, other than having to hear birthdays?
Oh, I'm just working, pick up some small jobs.
Okay.
So just working. So I don't get to hear you guys very often anymore.
Because you're out of the signal range, I guess.
Yes, sir.
You like listening on a actual radio as opposed to streaming it?
Oh, I don't have the ability to do any streaming. I do, but it's not in a vehicle.
Gotcha.
It could only be at home.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're out and about, then it's not going to work.
Yeah, that's why I'm driving down the road. It's like, man, we need to turn around. I want to hear some birthdays here. It's 8:35.
Don't worry, we'll always supply that.
Yes, maybe it could be no-name birthdays.
Yeah, Arthur J. Foyt having a birthday today. I'm just making up names now.
Oh, you could, and nobody would know.
Nobody would know.
So I don't know.
All right. Well, we
We
all
did go
agree.
to
Go ahead.
You know, we went to Sailor's Creek over the weekend.
Oh, how was that?
You know, it was much more interesting. I thought it was just a tiny little battle, but a lot went down there. So yeah, that was kind of interesting.
So you've never
You
been
know, I
before,
thought it was just maybe a
obviously.
skirmish, and 2,000 or 3,000 men had passed, but no, it was a heck of quite a battle.
Yeah, a lot of history around this area with Civil War and all that. So a lot of people just think Appomattox and that's it. But
Yeah, there's a good chance.
What's-
When they were moving around, there's a good chance it happened in your backyard.
exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I like the sand at Sailor Creek. They have good sand on the beach over there.
What's so special about that sand?
I don't know. I thought I would compliment it somehow, and I didn't. Other than I have been once or twice.
You have?
I have, yeah.
Good. You stuck your head in the sand, is what you did?
No, John. But I laid on the sand. It was nice.
Oh.
It was good times. Good times.
Did you do like a picnic thing, or did you
No.
lay out in the sand? What did you do exactly?
I was trying to get a tan.
Oh, well, that's what I meant.
Ended up burning my body.
You got to put lotion on,
Yeah,
so you look like a lobster after you were done.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
A good base. It was a good base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had a baser with me for just like occasionally,
Like a turkey base.
base. Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
I was just like.
So you did like Kramer did.
A little bit.
Putting
yeah,
the butter
yeah,
on.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you got to.
Okay. You buttered yourself
Yeah,
up.
it looks like. What's that? Who was that? George Hamilton. He's got that permanent tan. Is that who it was?
George Hamilton? Oh, yeah. Yeah, he looks like he's been
Yeah.
roasted quite a bit.
Oh, but yeah.
George Hamilton had the odd thing of he not only played the part of Hank Williams Sr. in a movie, he also played Evel Knievel, the guy you would least think of. Who can we get to play someone like Evel Knievel? I know. We'll get him. And it's like,
Oh,
okay, interesting. I mean, I like George Hamilton, all right. I mean, there's no big, but he would not have been the first person I thought of to play Evel Knievel, but whatever. Noah has no idea
do you-
who Evel Knievel is, I don't think.
Is that the
do
guy?
you remember him?
No, I'm
Did
kidding.
you ever catch any of his jumps on television? Wide World of Sports.
I just like old rerun footage of it. I did,
Oh.
I wasn't old enough to actually see it at the time, but or I was too young, way too young. But yeah, I've seen his jumps and stuff. Yeah, especially that real bad one where he crashed real bad, and they have it in super slow motion as his body is just sort of, banging against the ground, and
Yeah.
it's yeah.
I remember we saw we waited all day to catch him do the what was that, Snake River?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, and that was a big nothing burger.
it was, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh, it was like going to a fireworks display and they were all wet,
Yeah.
and they couldn't light them. And you're like, oh my goodness, this should be illegal. Make us sit through that. But they do have the Preakness coming up this weekend, guys and gals.
What's coming up?
The Preakness.
Ah, are you a fan
So,
of that,
but-
Noah?
I could take it or leave it.
You don't watch the Big Three?
He's asking you.
I know. Yeah.
Any of you? Yes.
I'm trying to allow Noah to partake.
No. I'm
Conversation.
You go ahead.
So
John.
you checked out for the rest of the day. Okay. Well, that's good.
Ah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
No, I probably
right.
won't watch anything.
Oh.
Do you? Are you a fan?
We just watched the 3. Yes, it's an event.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Why not? So.
Well, when's the last time you've called in? I'm trying to remember the last time I heard your voice. Was it last week?
It may have been. Maybe it was Friday. I just called, and then before that, there was I think a few weeks maybe.
Okay. Yeah, it was a stretch there.
Yeah. I just thought you guys were getting burned out on me, so I gave you.
I think I heard
break.
from you last week. It wouldn't have been Friday because I wasn't here Friday, but it was earlier in the week, I think. Last week.
Maybe. Time goes
Or
by
maybe it was
so
with
fast.
Chris or something. I don't remember now exactly, but.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was good hearing from you, and thank you for
You too. Yeah.
Thanks
adding
for
to the
calling
show.
in. Appreciate you. Yeah. Always a pleasure hearing from you. Caller.
Oh.
Oh, Noah woke
Thank
up
you.
all of a sudden. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yes, he's leaving.
Yeah.
Wake me up when he leaves.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for chiming in.
All right, man.
All
Take
right.
care.
You too. Take
Bye.
care. Bye. All right. First time caller.
Yeah. Yeah.
You tend to anoint the callers. You
Anoint
notice you've had
them?
that? Yeah, you've anointed him the first caller. You anointed potato.
No, I didn't anoint him the first time caller. He had that name, John.
Oh, you think he
right?
came up with that on his own?
I am positive he did.
Okay. Well, now we have another caller, so let's see what we
right.
have on the phones. Good morning. You're on the Call Flo Radio Show.
Maybe I should be known as the last time caller.
Last time caller?
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning, Betty.
Longwood graduation is this weekend.
Aha. Will you be
And,
attending?
I will not, because I don't think the weather is going to be that great.
Probably not.
And with my allergy problems,
Yeah.
yes,
I think I noticed a little something when I woke up this morning.
yes, I'm quite congested today.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Surprised
call
Noah's
me Noah. Just call me Noah. Going
Call you
into
Noah?
going into health issues on the air.
Okay.
But hopefully it won't rain for graduation.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it right now. Saturday, it's like a 30% chance of showers right now.
I tell you, I know we needed rain, but I'm done with it by now.
We're gonna, well, if you're one of those people that love rain, you're gonna get your rain for sure.
You're right, for sure.
Noah
Well,
will be
at
building
least
his
I
ark
can't-
and ready to go.
No, I can't do yard work when it's wet.
No.
But then woe be unto us after it stops.
Right.
Everything will be growing.
Yeah.
But anyhow, is first time caller? Does he go to Baltimore? Is that where he goes in Maryland?
I'm not sure where he goes exactly when he goes to Maryland.
He's been very vague about his
Yeah.
Maryland trips, He's just said, I'm going to Maryland.
He says he hasn't been in a while.
No, he doesn't say
Yeah.
I'm going to Maryland.
He does.
He says I'm going to Maryland.
Ah,
That
true.
is
Okay.
exactly what he says.
Yeah, interesting. I just was curious because Gene, of course, was from Maryland
Okay.
on the Eastern Shore.
All right.
And I heard him talking about the traffic and that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
we would usually go after Gene got off work, and it took us about 5 or 5.5 hours. And we found that generally there was less traffic going 1 and 301 going up.
Okay.
But the bridges were not fun for me.
Yeah,
I would
crossing bridges
never be able
on that
to
trip I
drive
had with
over
Mandy.
those
Yeah,
bridges.
big bridges. I haven't been on bridges quite that big in some time, if
Yeah.
ever, really.
Yeah. But better than the alternative of having to go miles and miles out of the way.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. Well, I was just curious. I was thinking that he was going somewhere in the area, maybe near Baltimore, but I very well could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know because like Noah mentioned, I don't know if he's really said exactly where he
I
goes.
don't think he has.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. Oh, and Noah, by the way, I thought that the fellow DJ RJRO was quite talented. I enjoyed listening to him.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, he really got into his likes and little stories here and there. I thought it was great. Yeah, no, I think he's going to be great for that Wednesday show.
I think he's got a good radio voice.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, enough of my jabber. I'll let somebody else get on.
All right. Well, have a great day, Betty. Keep dry.
Thank you for straightening me out on anniversaries.
Oh, I was no. I just took the way it was written. I just assumed, that must be under the same day because I didn't see a date
I
for
just
it.
messed it up.
It happens. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Well,
We got it right.
on, Harwood.
Yeah.
The Harwood Friends
Yep.
with Harwood Insurance. That Harwood.
Okay.
That group. Okay. Thank you, dear.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. All right, Betty Ike. And so our phone lines are open if you want to try to squeeze one in before we call it a day. 434-394-0924. Anything else you would like to add? Well, hey, we actually got another caller. Funny how that works. All right, next caller. Good morning. You're on the Call Flo Radio Show.
Hey, Don and Noah, good morning.
Good morning, Allie.
I got a funny story to tell you. You were talking about the traffic up there in New Jersey. Well, I'm actually from Blairstown, the other end of New Jersey.
Okay.
By Pennsylvania. I took my husband up there about 20 years ago to meet the family before we got married.
Mm-hmm.
He said, if I'm lucky enough to get out of here, I'm never going back. He didn't like the traffic either.
Yeah, that traffic is something else.
But anyway, I thought you'd get a kick out of that.
Thank you.
story.
I do. Oh, yeah, because I can relate.
Yeah, he's been here in Virginia
And Mandy
all his
joked
life,
at
you
my
know,
country
like
boy driving.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly with him as well, because
Yeah.
he's lived here all his life.
Yeah.
And so he wasn't used to that.
No, neither was I.
But anyway, I just wanted to share that little story with you.
Well,
I'm glad
thank
you made
you.
it back out of there alive.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad you guys made it out alive. Me too.
All right, you guys have a good day.
All right, take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. All right, Allie checking in.
So, John, when you're driving in traffic, what gets to you? What makes you nervous? What makes you tick?
Well, I don't like getting real close behind anyone, especially if they brake a lot.
Yeah.
And the left lane, that's supposed to be the fast lane, that's where all the braking is happening. We caught a lot of congestion.
Sure, yeah.
And I would see the other lanes to the right just look like they kept moving, and we were just like...
As soon as you went into that lane, though, just halt, yeah.
And that's why I stopped eventually.
Yeah.
Mandy told me, don't even bother. And I was like, okay, I'll stay in this lane and keep tapping my brake. So, the brake juice got used pretty good on that trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brake.
That's the only reason why I would ever consider riding a motorcycle. You ever see those guys on a motorcycle? They just go in between everybody. They just they just find a little like, space in the road, and they're off, dude. Could be at a dead stop completely, and those motorcyclists will find a way to keep advancing along.
They tend to maneuver quite well.
Maybe you should have taken Mandy on a motorcycle trip to New Jersey.
No, I want him to come back alive.
Oh, come on, John. That's cool.
No, one tap, and that's all you need.
Yeah, well, you gotta be careful about
Yeah.
it.
No, I'm good. I'm not Evil Knievel. I'm not gonna do anything.
By the way,
gonna do that.
You said I don't know who Evil Knievel is.
Do you?
What's the matter with you?
I don't know.
What's the matter with you?
Tell
John?
me who he is.
He's a daredevil.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to. After you looked him up, I'm sure.
No, John, come on. He wore the stripe thing, the stars, and yada yada.
Robert Pattinson, turning your favorite Batman, turns 39 today.
Yeah.
Buck Taylor as Newly from Gunsmoke. I've mentioned before those Memphis film festivals I used to go with my dad. I noticed he's not going to be there. He canceled.
Yeah.
Buck Taylor is Newly.
Okay.
Buck Taylor is Newly on Gunsmoke. 87 today, Buck Taylor. Maybe that's why he's not going. He'll stay home and celebrate his birthday.
Maybe.
Buck Taylor as Newly.
You gonna keep saying that?
Yeah, I might.
You know, first-time callers rolling in his grave right now.
Buck Taylor as Newly. See, this is the funny thing. Reading these celebrity birthdays gives me something to talk about, as opposed to watching paint dry normally. You know, we just sit here and just kind of like look at each other and going, all right, what next?
We never do that. We're always saying something. You know, we're always saying something, I think.
I mean, I'm perfectly fine talking about whatever. I just figure if it's right here in front of me, I might as well talk about it.
Well, I think it's, I mean, how many people really care that guy, Buck Taylor
as Newly.
He has a birthday today.
People that are Gunsmoke fans. Buck Taylor as Newly.
Yeah. Look, I'm a fan of a lot of shows. If somebody's celebrating a birthday, John, I don't.
Buck Taylor as Newly.
All right, I'll let you wrap up the show. I'm just gonna.
Well, you can call in and break up the monotony. 434-394-0924. I notice you don't like Buck Taylor as Newly.
I wish you would stop saying that. You're driving me crazy.
Drummer John Richardson of the Gin Blossoms is 61.
That's a band that you like, John, right? Gin Blossoms.
I didn't mind the Gin Blossoms. They had a couple of decent tunes, yeah. You not a fan?
No, I mean, they're fine. They're fine.
They're fine? Well, they're not obscure enough, I guess. They got to be very obscure before Noah will go. Because Noah's one of those types that if no one knows who they are, that's right up my alley. Is that your
No, that's not
kind of mantra
I don't
thing?
even know where you would come up with that.
I don't know.
Shinola.
Shinola? Well, drummer Andy, it's the birthdays for drummers today. Andy Williams of Casting Crowns is 53. Anybody else you want to talk about? No? So Noah's tuned out. So that's
There's
good.
a minute left, John.
Do you have anything you would like to add before we close shop today?
That's really funny. I was going to ask you the same thing.
Yeah, I know. You're the one that's got the finger on the pulse of what's happening in the area, so take it away, Noah Massage.
I don't.
Yeah, well, you do the the page and the website and the thing and you do stuff. So yeah, you're definitely the one with the finger on the pulse of what's happening in this community. So I was just curious is there anything coming up this weekend that we should know about? Or this week?
Yeah, I mean, well, the open mic's tomorrow, Farmville 15 at Press Club. It's going to be a great event. Sure. Well, we got like a few more. We got 10 seconds, so I can only talk about it so much. But yeah, I mean, go to farmvillenow.com for all your event needs. It's the place to check out. I heard the Moton Museum is going to be having something like a 3-day event that's going to be really interesting. So, yeah, a lot of different things to check out. But anyways, I think we're past time now, so we got to get going. Now, John, do you have anything you want to add before you go?
Just this. It's time to go.